Hello, dear friends. This is Sahara. This is the second part of psychic readings for viewers. If you're just tuning in and you did not see the first video in front of this, please go back and watch it so that you'll be able to get on board with us. To continue, these are things from Claire, Bobby, and myself. Sybil from Illinois asked, she sent a question via email. Will I get the programmer's job? This was just yesterday, so she's getting her answer in a timely fashion. I'm sorry, Claire answered this. Truly, or actually, Claire said she sees Sybil in Idaho or Wyoming, a western state, far more west than where she is now, and working with horses, of all things, and loving it. Sybil responded that she loves horses. It's part of her background, and she likes to work with them on all levels, and she was a veterinary student. So she said that programming was just a convenient job to get by. So hopefully she'll continue with her love and get back to us. Let's see what else we've got. I did some astrological ones too. This is from Brandy. She says, have you ever loved somebody who doesn't love you back? Well, gee whiz. This is not exactly a new question. We all face this. Bobby said, if the train doesn't stop at your station, it wasn't your train anyway. He felt that the man you love is unhappy with himself no matter what. He is like unhappiness, looking for a place to happen. There's nothing you can do about that. His own misery he's going to no matter what, whoever he ends up with, it's going to be the same thing. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with you. He's unhappy. You can't change that. It's up to him to find that. This is the oldest thing in the world, but we've all been there. And it's up to you. BB. She says, this is a cool question. Should she take an online course with James von Prague? I don't know if you all are familiar with him, but he's fantastic. Let's see. Bobby says, not really. It's like taking an online course on how to ride a bike. You need interpersonal reactions and to work with each other, interactions. You'd be better off in a local metaphysical store. You can find classes like that more than ever nowadays. But Bobby says that James von Prague is a step up from the other courses, that he offers some interaction with other students, and he has a Facebook page, I think Bobby said, and you get to interact with other students and get feedback from James and some of his other psychics. that'll get you going. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I think the example of how to ride a bike about says it. I answered some of the questions on astrology, my favorite thing. I told you the story of when I was a little girl, my grandfather, who came from a boat building family in Canada, would take me out in a boat and he would say, "You see, honey, if you need to find your way home, you just look up at the stars." He was teaching me navigation. I took all that quite literally. So that's I still look up for answers. The one thing I can offer is, first I can send you a chart from my computer for free. But second of all, the best thing I can offer is a $25 reading that guarantees, well, there's no guarantees in life, but that guarantees you will never have or rarely have interpersonal problems with this advice. This means everything. This means mother-in-laws, bosses, co-workers, boyfriends, girlfriends, the stuff of life. We are social creatures. However, we can spend a whole lifetime in the wrong ballpark and on the wrong playpen. And this advice, geared to your chart, the bumps in the road just got evened out. So that's your choice. I give you choices. So to do your chart, I need your birth information, including the time, as you may know. Next, I look forward to more questions. Just subscribe and send your question into my email. We're going to, some of the participating training psychics, people, I'm a psychic in training. We all are. We have our training wheels on. We're evolving to a level where we can start to communicate non-telepathically. As I mentioned previously, all bipedal beings, sentient beings, communicate non-verbally or telepathically. Angels, aliens, spirit guides, loved ones. When I have my near-death experience, I'm communicating with other beings. In this case, it was my higher self. I understand and I can ask questions, but it's nonverbal. So that's where we're going. We're really close, and this is the way to get there. So here are some questions that, if you want, you can pause this video and write them down, and then maybe do one or two exercises that would help us tune into these questions. Number 1, anything on Pope Francis. Number 2, Prince Harry's royal wedding. How will it go, or will it go? Number 3, anything on volcanic action or earthquakes? Question mark. Now, we have some enigmatic movie stars like Jane Fonda and Shirley MacLaine, and they continually surprise us. And they're in the 80s. It's a wonderful guest mentor for us. So is there anything new with Shirley MacLaine? Could be a movie, could be a book, could be a marriage. She's a lady of infinite surprises. Now here's the big question that everybody wants to know. The midterms in November. It's November 6th or 8th. And which way is it going to go? It feels like you're watching a egg on a barn, and it's about to roll to one side or the other. Which way is it going to go? I will tell you a secret. And if you can answer this one, how did Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Okay, I'll give you the answer. Neither one of them. The idea came first. First the idea came, then it doesn't matter. Here's one. How about Miss Oprah Winfrey? Now, my online psychic, as well as me, felt like there's no, if you ever understand the meaning of a snowball chance in hell, then that was the feeling of Oprah running. As we've learned in this climate, anything can happen. What do you feel about Miss Oprah? Okay, here's one. It crossed my radar, just like the airplane transportation and oil commerce across the Atlantic. What do you feel about the Food and Drug Administration? There's something up, I feel it. I'm putting it out there. Here's one. Robert Mueller. What's going to happen with that investigation? This is an interesting, I guess, historical time, and what's he going to do? Now, the other question is Trump's health. Many people have brought this question up. So do you see that as being an ongoing issue? I did answer one of the questions. I felt like the dust will settle before the midterms in November. And my feeling was I kind of relocated, and I ended up walking across the White House lawn. As I mentioned, I lived there, used to walk to school past the White House every day. And I remember the feeling of walking when the leaves had fallen in the fall, and how the air turned cold but was refreshing. That's where I landed in October of 2018. My feeling was a sense of refreshing feeling. Usually when the cold winds blow in the Northeast, you're filled with, oh God, it's awful. You go from summer to winter in a day, and all the pretty leaves have fallen, and you walk across them and they crunch. That was the feeling, but it felt like, I'm glad everything is settled. This dust had settled in one way or another. And so the definitive moment for the Trump administration and all the things that are going on now is defined. And we all have a sense of now we can move on. And so October, I would put it like, well, the beginning of October, when the leaves fall and they turn brown, not before then. And exercise to keep this momentum of evolution in a very small way, the type of tools that you need to move into a new age is doing simple exercises. One is, as you go about your day, you're going to ask yourself several times a day, you can even set your watch or phone by it. No matter what you're doing, ask, am I dreaming? And keep doing it. You're walking down the street, say your watch beeps. Am I dreaming? You look around. Am I dreaming? That will help you start to define the reality that you're in. Are you dreaming? So that's one. The other one, this exercise will help. I want you to look around in the environment that you're in. And I want you to look at everything that's blue. Make note of it. Is it, a rug, a pillow, somebody's shirt? Whatever's blue in your environment right now, I want you to look around. I don't know if this will work this well outdoors, but indoors it works great. Close your eyes. Now, keep them closed and answer this question. How many red things were in the room around you? If you remembered some things, then you have stepped up a level. Because we have unseen things around us all the time. But we don't even see it. It's like there's radio waves and light waves that we're not attuned to. And it's time to step up the game. And that way you're going to see your spirit guides, loved ones, God, an angel, a spirit. You're going to become aware of your extended environment. Okay. Next exercise. This requires you to speak out loud. This is the way you start to verbalize and make concrete, because words and thoughts are things. This is very simple. I'm going to do word association. And as soon as I say something, say the first word that comes to mind. Iceberg. Say it out loud. Don't think it to yourself. That's not sharpening your muscles. Penguin. Spaghetti. France. Split peas. Music. Ballpark. Coconut Grove. Guitar. New Zealand. Water fountain. Treadmill. There you go. As long as you said it out loud, thinking to yourself, that's nice. You do that all day. You must verbalize it. That's the way you begin to communicate your feelings. You know what? There is one question I want to put out to you, because this seems to be the topic on not just U.S. citizens' minds, but it's the world is watching. How will America define itself in the future? Do you see President Trump in the White House this time next year? Okay? That's kind of the big question. I'll tell you what, as astrologers look at Trump's chart, they realize that he is immensely lucky. Now, some people, God gives some people a huge amount of, they can pass go free by 1,000,000 times. They have luck. How will they use that luck? They can get away with anything. The rules that apply to an average person do not apply to the people with a free ride from the zodiac. And there are many people like that. They can be a Hitler, or they can be a Mother Teresa, or they can be Donald Trump, who can basically do whatever he wants and get away with it. Anybody else would have been creamed a long time ago. I know some people that have the similar aspects on that eclipse that was set off right at the end of August 30th. And that's when the Mueller investigation started. But I had other friends that had things in their chart at that point. They got creamed by something in life. They got mowed down by the fickle finger of fate. But not Mr. Trump. Yes, he got slammed with that book and the Mueller. I don't even have to outline it for you. It's kind of pretty topical right now. And so it's not these, how is he going to work with having a free ride from the cosmos. You and I are ordinary people. We can't get away with that. We learned that when we were kids. You go into a dime store, you steal a candy, you get caught. You go, gee, I can't steal candy anymore. And you start to learn. And so that's the aspects that were set off with the eclipses in August. August, yes. Let me think. Yeah, time is flying, and uh, you know, that should have been bios con Dios to Mr. Trump, because an average person won't be able to. I don't know. They cheat on their taxes. They go to jail right away, you know, but Trump has these aspects now. Good does not, I mean, you have good aspects, does not mean you're a good person. It depends on how you use it. Do you learn your lessons well? Are you Mother Teresa? Are you Gandhi? Are you Hitler? Or are you Trump? You can be any one of those people and have your way in the world. Do you use it positively? So those were the aspects in place at Mr. Trump's birth. So average person, they get their hands slapped. Other people that can have that Teflon quality, how will they work with it? That's what they have to do in this life. It might be harder, you know, to be able to get away with anything and start to use it for good things. Is Mr. Trump doing that? We're going to find out. And is he going to get away with the things that he has, not paying his taxes, yada, yada, yada. Lots of things. So we're going to see how that works out. So I just wanted to let you know that astrologers have puzzled over these kind of aspects with some people. And they have a hard time with Trump's chart because he is Teflon. As are a few people on this planet, they can do whatever they want. And sometimes they do good things. So we're going to see. We're going to see. So answering the questions of timing and outcome start to become really difficult for the astrologer in a situation like this. There's other things that are, you know right away. It doesn't take much. So we're going to see, and this is your challenge as a evolving person. In our next get together, I will answer. So Bobby and Claire, and anybody else that wants to add to this, and they're most certainly allowed to be wrong. That's the whole idea. It's called practice. And the question is, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? You're going to find out. And as my guru says, if you're not listening to God's voice, whose voice are you listening to? So I bid you adieu. We'll be together soon. Give me your questions for your own guidance. Your feedback to any of the questions we asked. And I look forward to hearing from you.